Hello and welcome back, and here's to 1,200 subscribers. It is an honor to know that the channel has gotten to this point, and first of all, may I thank every single one of you for subscribing. Whether it was 13 years ago when this channel began, or whether it was 5 minutes ago, thank you so very much. And to celebrate reaching this milestone, I got an idea. Well, actually I got several ideas, but this was the one I landed on. I thought, what would be a way to commemorate 1,200 subscribers? Perhaps by doing 1,200 of something. So I thought, what if I did 1,200 push-ups? Nah, that doesn't seem right. What if I trained for 1,200 minutes? I don't know. But we're all about telling stories around here. Whether they be true stories or fantastical stories or the stories behind something. So why don't we take a look at some of those stories? So I decided to read for 1,200 minutes, or about 20 hours, to commemorate 1,200 subscribers. At first I thought, oh, maybe I should do this all in a day, but then I realised that would leave little time to do such things as sleep, eat, train, go to university, sleep. So I decided instead to be a bit smarter about it and spread it throughout a week. So with 20 hours of reading to do, I decided to split it 5 hours a day. So that'd be 5 hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I could split the last 5 hours between Thursday and Friday when I had classes. Let's get going. And I thought, hey, video like this is a nice little checkpoint. So why don't I do a quick Q&A as well? First up, how's the book going? Ask me in a year. What is your favourite weapon to practice? Well, between the sword, the twin swords, the staff, the nunchucks, the throwing knife, bow and arrow, sai. Am I missing any?
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
Archery is a favourite of mine, probably because it's one of those ones I've been practicing the longest. Also, who doesn't love a bit of Robin Hood every now and then? But also, I'm a simple person, so I see a sword, I pick it up and I begin wielding it.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
But you know, one weapon I haven't really practiced, that I probably should because it is one of those basics, is the spear. I have to keep that in mind. I need to remember to try and practice that when I get the chance. Favourite genre? Are we talking book genres or movie genres? Book genre, I would say probably along the lines of fantasy. Fantasy, sci-fi, maybe sometimes some crime as well. It depends what mood I'm in. When will you stop YouTube? That's rather a bad question to ask when I'm commemorating reaching this milestone. I suppose that is a question to ask, considering how I've been doing this for 13, nearly 14 years, and I nearly stopped at one point, and another point. I'll just say, I'll stop making videos when I stop enjoying it. My favourite video I've ever made. Oh, that's a good one. There are some that are really my favourites because they're ones that have pushed me or caused me to challenge myself in a way I haven't before, but ones that I really enjoyed. I'm gonna say making this one has been fun just because I've been able to read, and there's nothing wrong with that. Who doesn't like a bit of reading? Off the top of my head, I'd probably say this one might be cheating, but I would say the Bruce Lee video, but more specifically the one where, this is why I say it's cheating, because I'm thinking of all of my Bruce Lee videos in one video, and that's cheating because that's 6 videos in one. But I like it because, again, it pushed the channel to greater heights. Just look at the view count and the like count. That did real numbers for the channel, but so that's the capitalist in me talking. But the other way of it is that it caused me to really look at this hero, this legend of martial arts of Bruce Lee in a way I haven't before. And again, it's that challenging of it, pushing oneself further. So I like that a lot. Okay, so 4 out of 5 hours are done, and I'm nearly already finished with this one. I thought I'd best start with the lighter read. Like how with lifting you do progressive overload. Start with lighter weights in order to warm up and stretch yourself before moving on to the bigger weights. So I did the same here. I'm nearly finished with this. I think I've got about, not many left, a tiny handful left. So I might either finish it now or wait till later when I'm in the 5th hour scheduled to finish this before bed, as I'll be reading my Bible before bed as well. So this one is, I'll give a quick review. I might as well, as I'm nearly finished with it. It's all right as books go. It's a sort of an anthology book. What you are looking for is in the library of where people, to give a basic rundown, where people are given who are who are lost and confused, not sure of where to go in life, or they feel as though they've hit a dead end. They go to this library where they're given a recommendation that just turns their life around. That seems like rather a crass oversimplification, but it's pretty fair summation of what happens. It illustrates that power of books sometimes, of how it can give you this idea that just completely changes your perspective on something. It's rare that happens with a book, but when it does, there is nothing like it. And yeah, that's fun to see. I wasn't sure how I would feel about it at first, because when with the first short story, in this because there's a series of short stories, the first one I thought was not really something I could really grab. I thought this was going to be a slog to read, but as I got going with it properly, it really opened up. The different characters, some of them really spoke in terms of, it had this, I felt those same notes with some of the characters where it resonated with something that maybe I've experienced or that I can recognise within it. But would I come back to it? That's the real question I always come down to with books. Would I come back to it? Probably not. I think, okay, I've read it once, I don't think I'll need to read it again. Unless I really wanted to. I still say it's good, just not something to really come back to, so I'd say I'd give it a good 3.5 out of 5. It's good, but I wouldn't feel the need to return to it. It's not normally the sort of thing I would read. So that's 4 out of 5 done, on to the next. How's uni going? Real good so far. I'm really enjoying it. I've been considering it a second chance, so I don't want to screw it up. I don't want to demean it. You know what I mean? I want to be able to really take as much as I can out of this, enjoy it as much as I can, and really take advantage of every opportunity I have available to me. And I'm thankful to the Lord every day that I'm able to take this chance. And here is hoping that it does lead to something good. I don't know what part of it the Lord has planned for me, what the way ahead is for me, but I trust in Him, and I know that it eventually, as long as I keep going, it will get to a good point. Favourite historical era? That's easy actually, Templar era. The Crusades! Deus Vult! But a close second would be Ancient Egypt, because that's the basic answer. Favourite superhero? Superman. Okay, so today I am 3 hours into the challenge. I'll be able to do 2 more hours before bed. So about nearly I have 70 pages left of this, so I think it's a good time to give a review. Short history. The short history of drunkenness. Oh boy. I've been pleasantly surprised by this. I really thought this one was even more than a library book. I thought this one would be the slog, because this one has been on my shelf for years. I don't drink, so I have no interest in alcohol. Why I bought this, I have no idea. But you know what? It has surprised me. I think what gets me through it most is the sardonic wit that it conveys, or the sardonic comedy. It has a very British sense of humour conveyed in this book, and you know what? That is welcome. There is some interesting stuff packed in here, because this is technically a history book. There is some stuff that's really interesting here about how animals react to fermented fruits and what actually happens to it. It's kind of a weird bit of poetry throughout the animal kingdom that we all need the alcohol to take the edge off. I thought it was just the humans with our problems. It makes mention of this quote where it says the Lord, I think it's to do with alcohol, where someone I think said that God made alcohol, so we should drink it. Interesting point of view. But overall, this is, it's not a bad read. I'd say, would I read it again? I don't think I have a reason to, unless I needed to reference something in this. Unless I wanted to look back on it to reference something, which is rare. That would be the only reason I think I would want to go back to it, largely. But overall, I'd say it's a good read. Good, fun read. I'd say, 4 out of 5. Solid. Yeah. Am I comfortable with giving it 4 out of 5? 3 out of... no, it doesn't feel good. 4 out of 5. So, 2 hours of that to go, and then on to the next book.
It's a trap!
Forgot to record this morning, but another day, another book. So we're on to book 3 now, and I'm about halfway through this one, give or take. So, not bad, progress-wise. Got about 2 hours left to do today, which I can do just after my workout, so that's fine. But after today, I can split the last 5 hours between Thursday and Friday, so much more manageable, with 2 of those hours each day being my bus journey to university and back. So that is a welcome respite. But this book, I really like this. This is really putting me in the winter mood. The crux of the plot is centered around winter, the first snowfall, so it just puts you in that wintry mood. Upon a frosted star. To basically give the plot summary, it is basically Swan Lake mixed with The Great Gatsby. And if you know the endings to both those stories, you know probably how this book will end, but I don't know yet. I've guessed, but we'll see. So far, I'm really liking this one. I don't know how to phrase it. It has this certain sense of comforting melancholy, which sounds like a very contradictory statement, but it makes perfect sense to me. So far, I would definitely rate this one a high 4. High 4 out of 5. You know, it's this thing I find sometimes with fictional works. It has this certain poetry to it that just doesn't make me want to put it down, or it fills you with energy. I'm looking forward to seeing how this ends. I probably won't finish it until tomorrow, so I'll see how it ends and then be on to the next book. So, let's go. It has been a long day. Nearly about 2 chapters done, give or take. 2 or 3 chapters done with this now, and my 4-star recommendation is holding strong. Especially when it's quickly become one of those books where, after the kind of day I've had today, all I want to do is just read this. And that's it. The note I gave yesterday of this being a comforting melancholy, that has continued, but no, it hasn't continued, but it's evolved into this prolonged drama, and there's a real sense of horror as well at several points, and the real tension that comes through was I was on my bus journey reading it at home, like there was just like, oh, what's gonna happen next? So sure sign that it's doing something right. I think there's another book in this series as well, so or by the same author, so need to remember to check that out whenever I stumble across it. Yep, so currently have 3 hours to go on the challenge, so last hour for today, do that later, and then the last 2 hours will be on the bus, so I won't be able to have that succinct, close the book, we did it, won't be able to do that. It'd be rather awkward if I did that on the bus, just shout out in the middle of the bus, I did it! No one cares. Nope, so overall, we'll give this a good recommendation and finish this up tonight, and then on to the next book, and the next book after that, and the next book after that. I actually thought at the start of this, but definitely today, I thought about how sometimes I think this might be something I don't know if this is just YouTuber specific, or if this might be just something that everyone comes across at some point, but there's just that one project or that one thing that comes across your desk where you're just like, I need this right now. Where it becomes this salve. You didn't even know you needed it until you started. And that's very much what this whole thing has become. In a way, I didn't even realise that this was what I really needed. Just to step back and really just for hours on end just read. So I haven't done that in ages. When was the last time I did that? I think when I was a kid, and we just went up north for the weekend to visit family, and I just sat and read this one book the whole weekend we were there. I think I even finished it at one point and started it again. Something in that. And I've wondered actually, there's a couple of points this week, because they say how certain not certain books, but yeah, certain books, if not the whole thing, but certain parts of them stick with you. they ingrain themselves into your soul, in a sense. I can think of a few books I've read in my time where that's been the case. The most obvious example is, of course, the Bible. Anyway, enough philosophizing. Enough. On we go. You, sir, have taken my seat. Challenge over! And we finish up with City of Stardust. This one has been on my list for ages, in my book list to buy, and then on my list to read. And fudge. I'm underwhelmed. Can't just be whelmed, I am underwhelmed. I'll just give my quick thoughts on it because, as you can see, I barely started it. I've only had 2 hours to do today, so I'm about there. So it should be I am liking it, I'm just not loving it. That's the thing. I'm like, okay, I'll see where this is going, but I'm starting to feel that pull of, oh, I've read this story before. So far, I'm going to go in the middle and give it a 3, because I want to give it a chance. But I think part of it is that Upon a Frosted Star has just stuck with me. Coming off that, and then reading this, it's unfair, really, because that's one of those books that sticks with you, for me. And coming off that, it's unfair to compare the two. So I want to give it a chance. But on the whole, I would say I am very glad that I have done this. For one thing, it has helped to cross off several books off my list that were just sitting there. Made me more appreciative of books, especially how certain books, certain parts of them, they just stick with you. That has definitely carried through this week. And my eyes are tired from reading, man. For 20 hours this week, I have just been sat staring at books, just like this. But on the whole, I'm glad I did this, and it is a great way to celebrate 1,200 subscribers. Not only has every minute I have read this, every page of reading these books has been relative to one of you guys, has been one of you who have stuck with me for. Maybe for 5 minutes or for the 14 years that I've had this channel. Either way, thank you so much for being here, for subscribing, for watching. Thank you. But if you're watching this and you're new, make sure not to subscribe because I don't want to know what my ideas come up with for 2,000 subscribers. I'm scared of what I will come up with. I got off easy this time. What will I be capable of with 2,000, 10,000? This is not Schadenfreude. Please, I'm begging. Don't do it. This has also creatively just enriched me. Especially, I'm gonna keep bringing it up, Upon a Frosted Star. That has been the highlight of this week, reading that. I want to read it again, slowly, methodically, really read it this time. And it actually inspired me to write at least 3 more stories of varying length. Might combine that to 2. I think I can fit 2 of them together, kind of, and then one of them I've already written. I don't know whether I'll release them or what have you, because I don't know if I can. Because, you know, they're based on a novel, but then again, the book is based on an IP that is public domain, so it might be a whole mess of things. Maybe I'll just keep them for myself. But this has definitely renewed something in me, given that fuel to keep going. But don't subscribe, because I might come up with something even crazier. Because I probably will, most likely. I probably will anyway, but don't give me more fuel. Thank you for watching, and until next time, folks, be seeing you.